Hi everyone. Welcome to the senior level advanced instrumentation methods in chemoinformatics and analytical chemistry. Now, you have a prerequisite for this course, which should be quantitative analysis or analytical chemistry, as well as the sequence of physics and calculus. That means that you need to pass these courses in order to be able to take this one. And the name of the course sounds really kind of daunting, right? Okay, but it's actually very interesting because this has a wide array of applications, like in food industry. For example, we're interested in analyzing how much is present, how much food colors are present in a food sample, and we do that using high performance liquid chromatography um, or or a gas chromatograph technique. So here we're going to delve more into the different instruments that are used in the analysis of different compounds. It has a wide array of applications. Like here, we use an HPLC or high performance liquid chromatograph. Like, for example, we're interested in determining how much of a pollutant is present in a factory, or how much of a particular compound is present in a pharmaceutical product. Or let's say we're interested more in the analysis of the environmental pollutants. Or let's say we're interested in determining how much proteins are present in the human blood. And also the various consumer products. What are these consist of? Or let's say we're interested in determining how much is the amino acid present in your body or particular sample. So all of this can be done using high performance liquid chromatograph, and it has a wide array of applications. So in this section, we're going to cover the foundations in instrumental methods and chemometrics, and we will talk more about chemometrics in the later part. But we're more specifically interested in the analytical methods. Okay, why are analytical methods important? As you have seen in the previous slide, it's important because these methods have a wide array of applications. And also, we're going to cover about the instrumental electronics because behind the HPLC technique, like for example, like what have seen in the previous slide, we need to know the electronics behind it, and also how do we process the signal coming out from this instrument. And also talking about signal, there's also a noise embedded with it, so we want to get rid of that noise. Otherwise, we would have no good signal. So with that, we want to know, why do we need to learn this? What are we really interested in learning? So the learning objectives would be, we would want to know the classification of analytical methods, the different types of instrumental methods, and later on, chemometrics. So in analytical chemistry, that is simply the chemistry that involves analysis of species or analytes. It can either be classified as qualitative or quantitative. In qualitative, we would want to know, what is the identity of the species? What is it? What is a species involved? And also, if it's more of a number, then it's quantitative method. So also, analytical methods can be classified as either classical or instrumental. When I say classical, this is more of like old-fashioned or basic, basic, or more of like less sophisticated kind of method. This is more like qualitative or quantitative. Qualitative, you can determine it using by simply looking at the colors or the physical properties like the boiling point and melting point, or optical properties, or a quantitative aspect. When I say quantitative aspect, it's more like a quantity, like I've mentioned before. And it can either be gravimetric or volumetric. I will show in the next slide. Or besides the classical methods, we have also instrumental methods, which are more expensive and faster, and it's using an instrument. So gravimetric technique, you're determining the mass of the analyte, and titration, you're more interested here in the volume or mass of a standard reagent required to react completely with the analyte that you're measuring. So We have discussed about the classical methods. What about the instrumental techniques? These are newer methods, sophisticated ones. And going back to your analytical chemistry, you're already given some background on chromatography and some electrophoretic techniques. Just take note that we're also going to delve more of this in instrumental techniques. Now, don't be overwhelmed. Now, I know that there's a lot of information here. These are the different types of instrumental methods. Okay, so in the first column, we have the characteristic properties, and in the second column, the instrumental methods. Like for example, if we emit a radiation, the instrumental methods are the different techniques that could be able to detect this characteristic properties. Now, we have a variety of this, but don't need to worry about it now because I will explain each of this later on. But in general, we could classify the instrumental methods as belonging to spectroscopy, okay? And then we have also chromatography, okay? And then also we have here different electroanalytical methods, starting here with potentiometry, coulometry, amperometry, um, and conductometry, okay? And then also we have here some classical methods like gravimetry and then mass spectrometric methods. Like I said, I will discuss this later on and no need to memorize this one yet. In general, the instruments for analysis need to have three basic things or aspects. You need to have a stimulus, and like for example, radiation, which is an energy source. Then it interacts with the sample, which is a system under study, to give you a particular response or analytical information. So again, stimulus, system under study, and then response. So let's have a quiz. So what are the three components needed for an instrument? So we have a stimulus, the system under study, and then response. And second, classify the analytical methods. So we can classify it as qualitative or quantitative, and classical or instrumental methods. So in summary, we have learned the following concepts: the classification of analytical methods, and we have also learned the different types of instrumental methods. In general, we have spectroscopy, chromatography, electroanalytical, and also some classical methods combination. And also we have mass spectrometric techniques. And again, don't worry about this because we're going to discuss this later on.